Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show you guys a little guide to the beginning of Metapor. Now the first tip is, before you start the game, you have to think which stats you want to prioritize on. Because in the second dialogue, when you are being recruited in the recruitment center, you get to choose either to increase strength, magic, endurance, agility, or luck. Now, if you pick the first option, it will increase strength by 2 and decrease the magic stats by 2. This stat is going to determine the damage of your physical attacks, so prioritize that if you want to go for physical. The second one will increase your magic stat by 2 and decrease the strength by 2. Magic stats is to increase the damage output of your elemental skills. The third one will increase your endurance but decrease the agility by 2. This is great for if you want to be a tank, but I recommend that you do not want to be a tank. You rather prioritize in dealing damage, so I recommend either the first two. The third option will increase the agility by 2 and reduce the endurance by 2. Agility increases the chance for you to escape, increases the damage output of critical hits, and determines the turn order of your party members. I suggest that this is the third stat that you should prioritize in, but this is for the late game. For the early game, you should not pick agility or endurance. Now the final one is somewhat of an outlier here, where it will increase the luck stat by 4 and decreases all the other stat by 1. I thought this was a jack of all trades, because everything else minus 2 of the opposite stats that you want, but this one minus everything, but you get 4 luck stats. Luck determines the critical hit chance, the chance of dropping items, as well as curing from status conditions. I thought this was a good stat to focus on because it gives you 4 instead of 2. But then I realized luck is literally the worst stats in the game because it's all chances. If you really want to gamble all the way in this game, then go ahead. Go for the meme stats if you want. Now the next tip is, do not miss on these gold beetles, because you can get good items if you exchange these gold beetles with an old man. I haven't gotten too far into the game because I'm still stuck in the demo. I'm still waiting for my package to arrive. I don't know when, but I hope it soon. So do not miss these gold beetles. They're like literally almost everywhere. You could miss with them in the beginning of your playthrough, so just keep that in mind. Third, let's talk about the combat this time. So whenever you attack, make sure you're aware of the sound that the enemies will make whenever you attack. You want to break the gauge and go for the initial preemptive attack, and make sure you utilize the lock feature to decrease the gap and dash to the enemy quickly. Do not ever utilize it on those magma crystals. These insane magma crystals is literally like a monster spawner. It will always spawn in monsters infinitely, so do not ever destroy it until the end of the dungeon. You can always come back to this magma crystal to increase your MP, which is really scarce in the beginning of the game, so please do not break that. And make sure you abuse the retry functionality. If you don't like to ever look up enemies' weakness online, then you can always go try them out and then retry. It will always save the current enemy's weaknesses, so make sure you utilize that, or you can utilize it for whenever you're stealing items, whenever you try to land a crit so you can get an extra turn. So make sure you utilize that. And make sure you get your knight rank to rank 4, because this there's this skill called First Aid, which allows you to use 2 MP to heal your HP, which is really good for MP management. Yes, although it can only be used outside of battle, but that's why whenever you're tight on MP, you can always use the First Aid to heal yourself. There's this hidden store which only opens at nighttime and right next to the Hush Honeybee Inn. This item allows you to guard and make it so that you use half a turn to guard. This is really good whenever you have an archetype that has a lot of weaknesses, or the enemies will deal a lot of damage to you, so you make sure you want to guard and not waste another turn to deal damage when other party members can literally attack. Make sure you get at least 1 for your tank. And the best item in the game in the beginning right now is this item that gives you a double turn. So this will literally break your game in the beginning of the game. If you use it well, you can do multiple attacks with just one ally. Make sure you utilize this well. Now next one, I will be talking about the followers, which one to rank up first. Now I'd say you should prioritize on Moore, which is the Seeker archetype, and Maria. She is the healer archetype for the beginning of the game. So with the follower system, I think whenever you hang out with them, you don't need to be focused on the points or anything. They will always get a rank up, which is really good because you only get like a few months to finish the game. And thank you that this is not a dating simulator, because it's really annoying that I have to hang out with them a bunch of times and do nothing just to get a rank up, right? And you don't even need to worry about archetypes here. Like, you don't need to have this certain archetype whenever you want to hang out with a certain party member. It doesn't matter. It won't give you any bonus points. You will always get a rank up. So this is really plus for this game. I do not like when people say like, oh man, you know, these people, who cares? At least you can finish the game quickly. Okay, where was I? Alright, more in rank 2 will give you the ability to get any archetype in the main menu. So you could just go straight to the menu and go to archetype tree and get whatever archetypes you want. So make sure you do his side quests and get to rank 2. Maria at rank 4 gives you speed cooking, which will not use up your time whenever you cook in the Gauntlet Runner. This is only in Gauntlet Runner, but at the beginning of the game you should always prioritize on time management. So make sure you get her to rank 4 and cook whatever you want in the Gauntlet Runner, and you will save a lot of time. Trust me on this one. Now the next one it's not a priority, but it will definitely help you out a lot, which is Brigitte on rank 3, which will give you a discount in her magic shops. And make sure you also use these discounts on Idol's Day, because Idol's Day is where most shop gets discounted, and it will save you a lot of money in the process. The next one is Katharina, which gives you, this is a low priority list, but this is really good in my opinion, because you can get bonus items whenever you do a bounty quest in the recruitment center. So make sure you do that last and focus on the first 3 followers that I mentioned. The rest, I think you can do it later, because they're not really that beneficial in the early game. Now in terms of archetypes, the beginning of archetypes is not really a lot that you can go with, but right now I recommend to prioritize on these 2 archetypes, the mage and the healer. The reason why I recommend these 2 archetypes is because mage can deal weaknesses and healer can finish off a mission that are more suggested. So if you get one of those guys at rank 20, you get to have leaf of life, I think. It's basically it's a quality of life item which allows you to give 1000 XP to any archetype of your choosing. So even though you're rank 20, you can still grind for these whenever you get a level up. So make sure you rank at least one archetype to the max rank to grind all these XP items. And there is this feature where when you appraise something, the outcome of the items that you appraise will be random. So make sure if you want to get the best item possible, I recommend you save and then restart. If you really want to go to RNG hell, that is. I recommend you do not. I think any items should be fine in the early games. It'll get better as the more you play, so don't worry about that. Alright, so these are the top tricks that I found in Metapor Fantazio. I hope you guys have a good time playing it. I'm sure I will. Okay, that's all for today. See you later, guys.